Namaste to all. A very, very serious and a very, very important question. The question is, sir, I've been going through your channel for last several months. I'm a born Muslim, but seeing your channel, I feel that I have to aim for Samadhi. Being a Muslim, can I attain Samadhi? What a wonderful thinking. Very, very beautiful question and a very deep question, in fact. The simple and short answer to this is yes. You can attain Samadhi. Every one of us can attain Samadhi. We have that potential. The very reason we have taken birth in this human body is an indication that we are eligible for moksha and Samadhi. But being a Muslim, can we attain Samadhi? Can you attain Samadhi? Being a Muslim, being a Hindu, being a Buddhist follower, being a Jain follower, being a Christian follower, if we remove the identification with the religion, then we are eligible to walk the path towards Samadhi. But if we always identify ourselves with any religion, the moment I say that I am a Muslim or I say I am a Hindu, I am a born Hindu in a Hindu family. So I identify myself with certain thoughts of few people who have written those religion. And then those thoughts being man-made, the originator of every religion is from human mind. Being against Almighty God, Samadhi becomes impossible. However, the thought comes inside you that I am a Muslim but I want to attain a Samadhi. That means you are focused towards Samadhi. The first and foremost thing we must do is to leave the identification ourselves with any religion. See, Samadhi, there are two meanings or two types of Samadhi in a broader sense. There are several types of Samadhi, but in a broader sense there are two types of Samadhi. Samadhi is a gun dharma of chitta, and chitta has 5 states. I have mentioned in my previous videos. If you have gone through my channel, you would have known. In that, kshipt, mood, vikshipt, ekagra, nirudh. The chit, when it resides or when it is coming into the bhumi of ekagrata and nirudh, that is called as Samadhi or Yoga Samadhi. The ultimate, the final stage is of course the Niruddha Avastha, which is called as Asampragyata Samadhi or Nirbij Samadhi, where the yogi, the person, realizes Almighty God. He sees Almighty God not by his eyes, but he realizes Almighty God in his heart, in Samadhi. So as a human being, each and every one of us, we must try to follow these principles which have been described and prescribed by Almighty God in the Vedas. So identifying myself with any particular religion, that I am a Muslim, I want to attain Samadhi but I cannot leave the practices of my religion. I want to attain Samadhi but I cannot leave the practices of Hinduism. Then Samadhi becomes very difficult. For attaining Samadhi, the simplest thing is, see, Nyaya Darshan, I made one video about this Nyaya Darshan, second sloka, second sutra. Nyaya Darshan, the Rishi beautifully says, Dukkha Janma Pravritti Dosha Mithya Jnanam. When we leave these 5 things, then apavarga, then we can attain apavarga. Apavarga means moksha. Pavarga, apavarga. Apavarga means moksha. In apavarga, 5 things does not exist. Apavarga, the definition of apavarga is pa, fa, bha, ba, ma. Pavarga. In Hindi, we say pa, fa, bha, ba, ma, right? So in simple, pa means papa, punya, karma. When we stop doing papa, punya, karma, that means when we stop doing sakam karma, we will be eligible for moksha. Then fa, when we stop having falki icha, that means sansarik falki icha. When we are having materialistic fal, the icha for materialistic benefits, materialistic gains, then we are not eligible for moksha. We cannot get moksha. Pa, fa, bha, bha. Bha means bandhan. The reason for bandhan is not our family. Just because I am married, I am not in bandhan. Just because I have children, I am not in bandhan. The reason for bandhan is avidya. So pa, fa, bha, bandhan ka karan ko todna hai. When we go to the root and then remove the reason for bandhan, which is avidya, then we are eligible for moksha. And then another bha is bhaya. The reason we are having fear, any fear in our life, is anxiety. We are having anxiety, we are having depression, we are having other fears. And bhaya ko chodne se we get moksha. And we can get out of every fear only by going to that Almighty God who creates this universe. I was reading yesterday one beautiful Atharveda mantra. I will make a video on that mantra separately. In that it is mentioned very clearly that Dhir Purusha, why they attain Samadhi, because they do not fear death. They do not have any fear. because of their complete surrenderance to me, that Almighty God. So God says, Bhaya ko chodna hai. For leaving the fear, you must go towards Almighty God. So Pafa Bhaba Ma, and the final one is Ma, is Mrityu. When there is a death that is happening, when there is Mrityu, there is Jananam. When there is death, there will be birth. Going beyond the clause of death is called as Apavarga, is called as Moksha. So each and every one of us, not dogs, not cats, not lions, not tigers, not any other animals can attain Apavarga, can aim for Apavarga. But we as human beings, we can aim for Apavarga. But we must first try to get rid of our identification with the religions, that I am a Muslim, I am a Christian, I am a Hindu, etc. etc. Like Zakir Naik always says, Muslim means one who completely surrenders his will to Almighty God is called as a Muslim. Good definition, but the definition of Almighty God is related to Allah, and Allah is related to Quran, and Quran has got many things which are against the Vedic Dharma or against the Vedas. So again it is going towards imaginary or self-made Almighty God. So if you are a Muslim and you want to come out of you want to go towards Apavarga or Moksha, then first and foremost thing is to understand who is that Almighty God. Yes, God is formless. Quran says Allah is formless. This is matching. But there are many other definitions of Almighty God which Almighty God himself has stated in the Vedas, which contradicts to Quran. So you must, with Vivek Buddhi, with a neutral mindset, you must understand who is that Almighty God. How do I come out of my anxiety, depression, stress, etc., etc.? How do I walk the path of Dharma? How do I make this world a better place? So for that, the first and foremost thing is to remove the identification with any religion. Of course, I say that somebody asks me, what is your religion? I say I am a Hindu. For name's sake, you can say you are a Muslim. But internally, from the point of view of your mindset, when your mind is firmly established and fixed in that Almighty God, Om, Paramatma, who creates this universe, then okay, then you can say yourself as a Muslim. That doesn't matter. Because when you say that you are not a Muslim, you might have some problems in your society. That's a different thing. So that for that matter, you are saying that I am a Muslim. That's a different point. But internally, if you understand the philosophy, Yoga, Chitta Vritti, Nirodha, the Samadhi is possible only when the Chitta Vritti becomes Niruddha. The final stage is Niruddha Avastha. When Yoga, Chitta Vritti, Nirodha is possible for either you are a born Muslim or a born Hindu. The thing is, we must go towards that path. And going towards Chitta Vritti, Nirodha, the first and foremost thing is to believe that Almighty God who has created the Chitta, mind and this universe for the benefit of jivatma. And why God creates this universe also, see, jivatma, God is described in Rig Veda, 10th Mandal. Jivatma is in the Pralaya stage, when this universe does not exist. Jivatma is in Sushupti Avastha. Sushupta Avastha means like a coma stage, sleeping stage. That means the jivatma, when it does not have a body, the jivatma does not have even that much power that it can recognize itself as jivatma. Sushupti Avastha. The moment the jivatma is disassociated with the body and prakriti in the pralaya state, the jivatma comes to such a situation that it cannot even recognize that it is jivatma. So balheen jivatma. So God creates this universe to give power to that jivatma. God says in the mantra, Atmada Balada. आत्मा को बल देने वाला परमात्मा, आत्मदा भलदा, बल देने वाला परमात्मा. So if God has not created the chit, the mind, the body, etc., the jivatma cannot do any action. The jivatma is so minute, so powerless that it cannot do any activity. But when it is associated with our body, mind and system, then it can do many activities. It can do tapasya, it can do wonders inside this body. So the first and foremost thing what we must do, or you must do as a born Muslim, is to remove your identification mentally, at a mental state, remove yourself that I am a Muslim. Physically you can say to your parents, you can tell your friends that I am a Muslim. This is very, very important. And the second one is adopting a lifestyle which will take you towards moksha. That means Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya, Parigraha, Brahmacharya. Following the truth. The truth means the God's knowledge, Vedas. Satya, Ahimsa, following Ahimsa. Ahimsa is the most fundamental step of any dharma. Almighty God will accept us only when we are Ahimsavadi. And there are 81 types of himsa mentioned in the Yoga Sutra. 81 types of himsa. Even hurting others by your words is himsa. But we are killing animals and consuming their flesh. So this is the highest form of himsa. So leaving non-vegetarian food, adopting sattvic way of lifestyle, this is the most important, for us to go towards samadhi. Satya, ahimsa, asteya, don't speak any lies. Don't steal. Asteya means stealing. Steya means stealing. Asteya means don't steal others' property. Don't steal others' ideas. We must live. Yesterday I made a video. If you have not seen it, please see it. 5 steps towards Ishwar Pranidhan. We must understand that everything is given by Almighty God. The knowledge what I speak is not my knowledge. I have read Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati's books. I have read other Acharya's books. I have listened from my Acharya for several years. I have read his books. Based on the knowledge I am trying to tell you. This is not my knowledge. This is not my unique capability that I am telling you this. These are nothing my knowledge. These are all knowledge of great Rishi Muni Tapasvis who have realized Samadhi. So it's a very good thought that you have to go towards Samadhi. But the thing is Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya, Aparigraha, Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is most important. Aparigraha is last one. Important. But Brahmacharya is very, very important. Control of senses. See, when we when we do not understand the basics of our human body, why the purpose of the creation and purpose of our human body, when we do not understand it, we will naturally try to misuse our body. And most of the men, at least women, I don't want to comment, I don't know actually. Being a man, I can know that we misuse our body so much towards mainly sensuality, kam, krodh, mad, lobha, ahankar, kam vasana. So controlling that and using our energy towards moksha is brahmacharya. And of course in grahastha ashrama, to get pious kids, it's okay to utilize your body in the dharmic way so that you get the further generations. Other than that, we must completely control the body, completely control the senses. This is brahmacharya. So for following these things strictly in our life, we must do tapasya. For doing tapasya, we must have a acharya, and then we must do swadhyaya. You must stop immediately. You must stop reading those books which are written by human beings. Any books of your religion or even of Hindu religion. There are so many 100,000 books in Hinduism which are to be totally scrapped and burnt, not to be studied by human beings, because these are originated from the mind. Veda says Manushyaha Anrutam Vadanti, not Veda, the Shastra says Manushyaha Anrutam Vadanti. Manushya jhoot bolta hai. For our selfish gains, we speak lies. So we must not study books written by human beings. We must study books written by Rishi Munis. Devahas Satyam Vadanti. Devaha means Rishi Muni Tapasvis like Patanjali Muni, Vyas Muni, Atri Rishi, Gemini Rishi, etc., etc., etc. So Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishwar Pranidhan, you must completely surrender to that Almighty God, not to any Almighty God who is named as Allah, Jesus, Krishna, Rama, etc. So then you can be and we can be eligible towards Samadhi, eligible towards to walk the path of stopping the Chitta Vritti. Because Samadhi means Chitta Vritti Nirodha. There is no other definition of Samadhi. Samadhi or Apavarga Moksha is a next stage of Samadhi. That means when a person attains a Samadhi and he leaves the human body, he is always in Moksha. He never comes back to the birth and death cycle. So this is called as moksha. So Samadhi is the stepping stone for the next step where death stops. Like I said, pafa, bhaba, ma is mrityu. Mrityu completely stops. After that, the mrityu never happens. That is the moksha stage. So Samadhi is most important. For that Samadhi, the first step of Samadhi is ekagra chitta. The chit, the mind, the buddhi, intellect is concentrated on ekagrata, only one thing, and that one thing is Almighty God. And for going to that state also, it is not easy. You must do tapasya daily. So being a Muslim, yes, you have to aim for Samadhi. That's every Rishi Muni, no Rishi Muni has mentioned any religion name in their books. If you read Nyaya Darshan or Yoga Darshan or Sankhya Darshan, no religion name is mentioned. Not even the name Hinduism is mentioned. We cannot call these Rishi Munis are Hindus. These Rishi Munis were Aryas. Arya is a Gunavachak. Vachak Vachya, right? Gunavachya. That means The person who completely surrenders himself to Vedic marg is called as Arya. Who worships that Almighty God day in and day out duly by following the Vedic style of life is called as Arya. So Arya is not a religion; it's the guna. It's his guna of that person. So you can also become Arya. I can also become Arya. Am I an Arya today? Not fully. I am trying to become an Arya. But many people, they say that because I am born in Arya Samaj family, I am Arya. No. Because you are born in Arya Samaj family, you cannot become Arya. Arya means we can say Sri Ram is Arya. Sri Krishna was Arya. Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati was Arya. My Acharya is Arya. We can say these people as Arya. And then there are further little bit down, we can say that tapasvis who have not attained Samadhi but still they are walking the path of Vedas. We can call themselves also as Aryas. But we normal people like us, we are still having Kam, Krodh, Madlob, Ahankar. We still do anti-Vedic deeds. We people, we cannot call ourselves as Arya. So the first aim for you to go towards moksha samadhi is first you must become an Arya. And then after becoming an Arya, you must continue your tapasya. And the tapasya should be aimed to stop the chitta vritti. Stop the chitta vritti means those vrittis in the chitta, in the mind, in the intellect, which will obstruct reaching Almighty God. See, because stoppage of chitta is not samadhi. Stoppage of chitta vritti is samadhi. Chitta cannot be stopped. The mind and intellect, if it stopped, then human body cannot sustain. So their work will continue until we exist in the body. But vrittis can be stopped. Chitta vritti means we can say vibrations or signals. The signal sent out by mind and buddhi is captured by jivatma. The signal what is going towards jivatma has to be stopped. Other than that, the mind and intellect function cannot be stopped. If it is stopped, then we are dead. Human body cannot sustain. In each and every operations, even the blinking of eyes, the mind and intellect will work. Mind working is important. So stoppage of chitta vritti is samadhi. So first we must understand what is vrittis, what are the types of vrittis, how the vrittis are obstructing our sadhana, our tapasya, who is Almighty God, how Almighty God helps in stoppage of chitta vritti, what is ekagra vritti, what is ek tattva paramatma, how this universe gets created. So we must try to progress and advance in all the aspects of spirituality and slowly go towards chitta vritti nirodha. As I told, the sutra Nyaya Darshan says dukkha janma pravritti dosha mitya jnana. When mitya jnana gets disappeared, dosh will get disappear. And when dosh means raga dvesh, moha raga dvesh is called as dosha. When dosha gets disappeared, then pravritti, we will not do sakam karma, we will not do any karma for materialistic benefit. And when we do nishkam karma, then what happens is for nishkam karma, the result is not janma, the result is not birth. When the nishkam karma when sakam karma completely stops, then slowly a time will come where you will not be left with any further karmas to take birth. So janma will stop. When janma stops, dukh will stop. The reason for dukh is janma. Birth is the reason for dukh. Or when you take birth, you must undergo dukh and sukh in this body. So we must start to attack from mithya jnana, avidya. You must attack avidya, understand avidya and try to attack avidya. And when you attack avidya, avidya se dosh nivritti ho jayega. Dosh se then we will not do sakam karma. Then sakam karma, when it stops, at one point of time your janma mrityu will stop. And when janma mrityu stops, dukh is not there. When dukh is not there, then that is called as moksha or samadhi. So this is very, very important philosophy in our life. I have made several videos. You said that you have gone through my channel for last some months. Please go through my other videos. Whatever I have learned from my acharya, whatever I have learned from Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati or other acharyas, I have made videos in my channel. And one example, I was reading Yoga Darshanam by one acharya who is no more now. His name is Acharya Satyapati Maharaj. He was a born Muslim. When he wrote about his life story, he was not writing, but somebody asked, your life story will be inspiration to us. So he made a video or something. I listened one audio some time back. So in that he says, I am a born Muslim. I was born in Muslim family. And until I saw death from my eyes, I could not get vairagya. But when I saw the India-Pakistan war, not Pakistan, the independence war in India, I saw in front of my eyes so many people were killed mercilessly by British, and Hindu Muslims fight happened. Then I had a fear of death. The moment I had a fear of death, until such time I was eating non-vegetarian food, I was doing tambak, eating this all kam krodh matlab ahankar I was doing. But until such time, when I saw that death, I got fear of death. And then I started searching, how do I come out of fear of death? Then finally I left my books, and then I went to Vedas. I went to Acharyas to understand what is Vedas. Then I got Vairagya. Then I did Tapasya. Then he mentions in his thing that he attained Samadhi. Of course, not the final stage maybe, because in one of his disciples' pravachan, his disciple was telling that, see, my Acharya, he attained Samadhi, but it's not the final stage yet. He told before death that I have to go for one more birth at least, because still some klesh is left in the chitta. So that at that stage a person will know that I have to take next birth. So still, he attained the not the final, the before stage Samadhi, being a born Muslim. So what more is needed inspiration for you or for any one of us? If a person born Muslim can attain Samadhi, so you also can attain, I also can attain, everyone can attain. The only thing is whether are we true towards that Almighty God's shown path. If we are true to that path, then we can leave the rest to Almighty God. He will guide us. The most important thing is, please search an Acharya. Please search an Acharya, go to his lotus feet, take Diksha from him, do name jap, and then try to follow some points which I have told in this video. Maybe, I told many points. Try to, listen again and take some points, notes, and then come back to me for if you have any queries. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.